And in the headlines, President Tinubu's mourns Akwa Ibom First Lady. Federal government promised not to spare anybody in Bobrisky bribery allegation. Kwara monthly sanitation exercise holds tomorrow. Moving on to the force, a New York mayor in court to face corruption charges. And in business news, federal government gets a $600,000 relief fund from Gates Foundation. Veteran British actress Maggie Smith dies, aged 89. And lastly, in sports, Eguava to continue as interim Super Eagles coach. Good evening and thanks for joining us for the news across the world on Diamond 887 FM. In Lorry, I am Precious Afolabi.D. You can also listen to us via website www.diamondfm.net or watch us live on Facebook at Diamond 887 FM. You can also download our app on Google Play Store, Diamond 887 FM. We'll bring you details of the news after this break.
Opportunity in this country. I don't lose hope. Oh my God, jackpot.
Leaving the country may not be the solution that you think it is. Don't make leaving Nigeria the only solution to your life's challenges. Japa because you want to, but stop raising it as a solution to national issues that you can work on and fix. Nigeria will always be your home, and together we can make it better.
This message is reaching you from Diamond 88.7 FM Ilorin.
And you're welcome back. Now the news in detail. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has extended his heartfelt condolence to the governor of the Akwa Ibom State, Pastor Umar Enna, on the shocking passing of his beloved wife, Pastor Patience Umar Enna. President, in a statement on behalf of the federal government, by the spokesperson Bayo Nonuga, commiserated with the Enna family, the government, and the people of Akwa Ibom State during his grim time. And this time, Tinubu joins them in mourning the painful and pronounced loss of the state First Lady, noting that the support of the departed and the administrations of the Governor Enna, the President affirms the Patience Enna as the wife to a visionary governor, an ordained gospel minister, embodied humility, resilience, and loyalty. The federal government has vowed that nobody involved in the alleged bribery saga involving a cross-dresser Idris Okuneye, aka Bobrisky, will escape unpunished. The Minister of Interior, Dr. Olubomi Jojo, made a vow today at the press briefings to mark his 1 year in office in Abuja. The minister had earlier halted comprehensive investigations into allegations of the bribery and corruptions within the Nigerian Correctional Service, NCOs. Jojo gave the order following reports that Bobrisky, who was sentenced to prison earlier this year, did not serve his jail term inside the correctional center. Speaking on the bribery and corruption saga that is currently rocking the country's correctional service, Jojo urged Nigerians to be patient and wait for the conclusion of the investigation, but he assured that all those involved will face the music. Kwara State monthly sanitation exercise for the month of September will hold tomorrow across the state between 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. This was disclosed in a statement by the Press Secretary, Kwara State Minister of Environment Yakubu Kamaldeen Aliaga, and the statement joined members of the public to fully participate in the exercise by cleaning their residential and business environment, as it is mandatory for all residents to clear drainages and bushes around the surroundings for health and safety reasons. Security monitoring agents, environmental health officers, and members of the Environmental Task Force will go round to monitor and ensure compliance and sanctions offenders as many be necessary. Waste management trucks will also be made available for waste collection and the subsequent dumping at the government-approved dump site. Ekiti State Governor Biodun Oyebanji has pledged his administration's unwavering support to journalists and other media practitioners operating in the state to discharge their duties. Oyebanji, who underscored the role of the media in the development of the nation democracy, reaffirms his commitment to continue to provide a more conducive atmosphere for journalists to exercise their professional mandate without fear of intimidation and harassment. He spoke in Ado-Ekiti, the state capital, during the annual Public Lecture Awards ceremony organized by the Correspondents Chapter of Nigeria Union of Journalists in Ekiti State. The governor saluted the journalists in the state, especially the Correspondents Chapel, for their role in the development of the state, saying that they have been dispassionately putting his government on his toe in the last 23 months for better service delivery to the people of Ekiti State. The Federal High Court in Abuja has ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to accept recognize the Chief Olushola Nehemiah and Ezekiel Awude as the governorship and the deputy governorship candidates of the Labour Party (LP) for the Ondo gubernatorial election. The court ordered that Nehemiah and Awude must be accorded recognition, rights, and privileges as governorship candidates for the November 16 Ondo State governorship pool. Justice Emeka Iwete issues the order today in Abuja while delivering judgment in the joint suit instituted against INEC and other by the Labour Party, Nehemiah and Awude. In his judgment on the suit, Justice Nwete has actually seconded the primary elections held by Labour Party and which produced Nehemiah and Awude was valid and must be upheld by INEC. Justice Nwete said the evidence about the Nehemiah paid 20 million naira into United Bank of Africa UBA account of Labour Party for nominations form and was duly issued a form that led to conduct the second primary election. The news across the world is reaching you from Diamond 887 FM Ilorin. We go on a break now. When we come back, we'll bring you foreign and sport news. Please do stay with us.
See, wait, he's from our tribe and we have the same religion, so we have to protect our own. Our tribe isn't corrupt. I beg you, leave am now our Peking.
Wait, stop and think. Do you realize that the impact of corruption and careless decisions by that clansman or family member of yours doesn't know tribalism or nepotism? Let's hold everyone accountable for a better society and country. If you see something, say something to the right authorities.
This message is reaching you from Diamond 88.7 FM, Ilorin.
You're still listening to the news across the world, reaching you from Diamond 887 FM. You're welcome back to the rest of the bulletin. On the foreign scene, New York scandal pledged Major Eric Adams arrived in court where he was due to answer multiple frauds and bribery charges that have shocked the city. Prosecutors accused him of wire fraud, soliciting illegal campaign donation, and bribery conspiracy involving Turkish citizens and at least one Turkish official. Accompanied by Haidt, the 64-year-old mayor walked into the federal courthouse in Montauk as made comments in waiting reporters, but gave a thumbs up. A 57-page document accused the mayor of the most populous U.S. cities of crimes going back in decades, when Adams, a Democrat, took office as Brooklyn Borough President. Still on the foreign scene, Donald Trump has agreed to a last-minute meeting with President Volodymyr Zelensky, despite repeatedly criticizing him on the U.S. campaign trail. The Republican presidential nominee told a news conference that the Ukrainian leader will visit Trump's tower today, just days after Trump criticized him for refusing to make a deal with Moscow. The former U.S. president appeared to have changed his mind after early reports from the campaign said a meeting between the two was extremely unlikely. A pair as endeavor the tumultuous relationship. Trump was impeached in 2019 over accusations that he pressured Zelensky to dig up damaging information on the Biden family. A rough transcript of call revealed Trump he had urged Zelensky to investigate Biden as well as Biden's son. And now moving on to the business scene.
Diamond FM Business News.
The Nigerian government has secured a $600,000 relief fund and committed from the bill and the Maldat Gate Foundation. The donations was announced when Vice President Kashim Shettima met with the bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, led by its head of the Global Development Program, Dr. Christopher Elias, on the sidelines of the 79th United Nations General Assembly in New York. The relief fund is to extend relief efforts of victims of the devastating floods, as well as for the health and agricultural sector reforms. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Waliedu, who announced the fund will consider the unique threat posed by the climate change by pooling funds from a broad spectrum of public and private sector players and international donors. And now to the world of entertainment news.
Diamond FM Entertainment News.
Dami Maggie Smith, star of the Harry Potter films and Downton Abbey, has died at the age of 89. A statement from the Dami Maggie's son says she died peacefully in a hospital today. Following Downton Abbey, actor Hy Burnville says she was a true legend of a generation with a sharp eye with the formidable talent. And the legal British stage screamed Dami Maggie went to Oscar during her career for the prime of the Miss Jonesborough in 1970 and California Suit in 1979. Born on December 28, 1934, the daughter of an Oxford professor of pathology, Smith made the stage debut in 1952 with Oxford University Dramatic Society. And moving on to the world of sports.
Diamond FM Sports News.
The Nigerian Football Federation's NFF has said Augustine Eguavoen will continue in his role as the interim coach of the Super Eagles. NFF disclosed these in a statement on its social media handle saying the appointment followed the recommendations from the NFF Technical and Development Subcommittee. The 58-year-old in temporary charge of the squad had led 3 times previously, steered the 3 times African champions to a 3-0 defeat of Benin Republic and scoreless draw with Rwanda in match day 1 and 2 earlier this month. Eguavoen, who had been serving as the NFF technical director, will now lead the national team in the upcoming 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifying matches against Libya, scheduled for next month. Still on the world of sport, Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola has confirmed the midfielder Rodri is ruled out for the rest of the season. The Premier League club has now learned that Rodri suffered anterior cruciate ligament damage in last weekend's draw with Arsenal at the Etihad Stadium. The 28-year-old has now undergone surgery later today and will not play for City again until next season. This represents a big blow for City, who is looking to win the Premier League title for 5th consecutive year. Guardiola men were top of the league after 5 fixtures are away at Newcastle United on Saturday earlier kickoff. With that, we have come to the end of the news across the world. But before we go, again, a recap of the major highlights. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu mourns Akwa Ibom First Lady. Federal government promised not to spare nobody in Bobrisky bribery allegation. Kwara State monthly sanitation exercise holds tomorrow. And on the foreign scene, New York mayor in court to face corruption charges. A federal government gets a $600,000 relief fund from Gates Foundation and Business. And moving on to the world of entertainment, veteran British actress Maggie Smith died aged 89. And moving on to the world of sports, Eguavoen to continue as interim Super Eagles coach. Do you know segment on this day in 2003 Nigerian 4 satellite known as Nigeria Sat-1 was launched into orbit. Now you know. For news coverage or information about happenings around you, you kindly contact the newsroom, Diamond Newsroom, on 0916 062 7526. The news across the world was edited by Abiodun Akinwumi. I am Precious Afolabi.D. Many thanks for listening.